What's up? I'm Drew Paul Bell, and today I want to talk about if it matters which architecture school you go to. I've gotten this question from a lot of you guys, and I think that I'm worried that when these people are asking this question, they're actually coming from a bad place. They're worried about, like, does it matter with the name of my university? If I don't go to a big name university, if people don't know, like, if it didn't have like high clout, if people don't know about it, like, that is so surface level. What other people think from the outside looking into your university, I don't think that does matter. There are firms that will like probably only hire people from Ivy League universities or big name universities, and I'm not very familiar with firms like that, but I would be willing to bet you don't want to work there anyway. If they're so concerned about the surface level name, then that's bullshit. The truth is, it matters about your quality. There obviously is a difference in quality, but there's a certain kind of quality that is true, right? And this kind of quality is much deeper than just the name of the university. And I'm worried that's why what I'm trying to explain is that there's two ways to come about this question. And I'm worried that too many people are worried about the name when they need to be worried about the quality of the actual school. I went to a school here in Atlanta, kind of out in the suburbs, and it was called Southern Polytechnic State University. And this university, the College of Architecture, it's in the College of Architecture and Construction Management. So the idea was, like, historically they've been very grounded in reality. It hasn't been a very like airy-fairy flying buildings kind of school. It's been a university where they teach like practical knowledge. And there's a couple of other universities here in Georgia that have architectural degrees, and the other two are kind of more focused on like theory and art, and not as much as on like practicality and construction. There are firms here in the Atlanta area who are familiar with the universities in the area, and they will only hire people from Southern Poly, the school that I went to. And it's not all of them. There's a few of them that do, though. And I've never heard somebody say that they only hire students from this other school, but I have heard them say that. I have heard of a lot of people saying that they only hire people from the school that I went to, and maybe they're just being nice and they're not going to tell me that they only hire people from the other school because they know which one I went to. But the point is that is, even that at least, that speaks to something deeper than just the name of the university. So don't get all caught up in the name. I went to a university where, at Southern Polytechnic State University, SPSU, my 5th year out of my 5-year bachelor's degree, and it was in the fall, they announced that they were going to merge my university with Kennesaw State University, which is a bigger university, kind of like the next city over. And so Southern Poly wasn't going to exist anymore. They were going to come together to join a new university that was named Kennesaw State University, which means we got absorbed. And everybody was all worried about this. They were like, "Oh, what's going to happen? Like, our school doesn't exist anymore." And like, what's going to look like when we have like a resume or portfolio? And that doesn't matter. A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. You had your experience, and like the knowledge you took from university, that's what matters. It's not the name of the university. I don't think it's the name that matters. It's the quality of the student, and it's the work that they can produce. Now, going back to this idea that there's varying qualities of universities, right? You might only get trained as good as the university that you go to. Let's say you're somebody who went to a university that maybe even had a big name, or maybe didn't have one that was like lower quality, right? So you're gonna have lower quality training. Maybe they're gonna make you a lower quality student. Maybe you're gonna come out having not learned a whole lot. But I think that even though that sounds like a really terrible situation to be in, I don't think that it is so final. What I mean by that is, if you're a student and you're concerned about your education, you can take control of somebody else's shortcomings, right? If you landed at a university that you didn't know any better and you made a mistake and you're at some university, then good news. This whole architecture thing, this is a career-long thing. This is like a lifelong kind of thing. When you finish school, it's like you're reading a book and you just finish like the foreword or the preface. Like, you still have so much more to go. You have so much more to learn. Anybody out of any university, you can still grow so much. Like, it doesn't matter. It's almost negligible, right? Where you stand the year you graduate. What really matters is like how you can improve over your entire career if you really want to be good. And then I'll also say this, during our kind of discussions about how Southern Poly was going to merge with Kennesaw, they announced it, and everybody was in shock. But like in the days following though, we were talking with one of my professors who was, he was like the oldest professor there, and he had ran a firm most of his career, being a principal. He was really involved, had built more buildings than probably all the other professors we had. And he said, as somebody who's run a firm, he would rather hire the most enthusiastic student from a middle tier or a lower tier university than to hire the least enthusiastic student from a top tier university, some Ivy League design school. So it doesn't really matter what school you went to as much as it matters about your own enthusiasm. If you are going to be able to seek out what's truly important for you to be a great architect, then it doesn't matter which school you really went to. If you're going to be, if you are actually picking up knowledge everywhere and you're constantly studying and trying to grow, then I don't think the school can hold you back. I don't think they're good enough to hold you back. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are determined, in the world we live in with the internet and with Amazon, you can order books, you can seek out mentors, you can figure out what it is you need to know. Whether they're training you properly or not, if you are determined to find that out, you can go find that. And again, I keep going back to one of my favorite quotes by Mark Twain in these videos, and it's that you should never let schooling get in the way of your education. So I'm gonna leave it on that. I hope this helps. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will talk to you next time.